My guest today is Belén Martí, a dancer and one of the member of Muchachas company, and Ivan, which is a collaborator of the company, who might help us with the English, but I'm sure we will manage very easily. So, Muchachas is a collective of young artists, and it was founded in 2019. And Para Cuatro Jinetes, which we will present at the festival, is your third work. So, maybe at the beginning, tell us what brought you together and what's behind your urge to work together, because you are very young collective, and it's four girls with very nice energy. So tell us what's there behind that.
Well, we met all together a few years ago in Madrid when we start studying dance, the final part of our careers in Madrid, and I think that meet each other and staying in Madrid um, and start to know um, all the context of the capital were very important to us because we were be able for the first time to know artists, to know ways to make dance that we didn't know before that. So it changed our minds completely. And I think that the repertory that we were all our lives dancing for the first time didn't was enough for us. And it was a moment very special for us because we question ourselves for the first time that is it possible that we can create our proper repertory to dance it, to if it's possible, if this repertory is a female repertory, a repertory that represents our time and our feelings and our preoccupations for the world that we are living now. And I think that all these questions were no were making between us, and this was the start of the company that we start to doing small things, and these things were growing up in the time, and we are here now. So this little question was very important for us.
Yeah, and you studied folklore, and Spain is a country where the folklore is very much present in the field of culture, dance,
Yes.
music, in everything. And maybe, as you said, like you wanted to create something which express yourself. So how this connection, folklore, or how you understand the folklore and the tradition in your culture, and its connection to contemporary society, how tradition, which is the role tradition plays in a present time in contemporary society for you?
This is for us a very difficult question because I think in this question is all the piece, all the question that we were making for ourselves when we start to create it para Cuatro Jinetes. Because it's true that folklore in Spain is very important, but it's not clear what is folklore really, because a lot of things are making all the context of the folklore. And Spain is in Spain now it's a situation that this is very different in the different parts of Spain. We don't live the we don't live the folklore in the same way in all the country. No sé si me estoy explicando bien aquí, Iván.
Súper bien. Sí, sí, sí,
Sí,
dale, dale.
vale. Vale. Um, and it is because and it is very important to know that in our careers in Spain, we are um, we are flamenco dancers and Spanish dancers. And when we are studying, we study folklore too in our conservatories. So the way that we are studying folklore is an academic way. And the important question here is that how is it possible to academy the tradition? Is it possible to make a school of the tradition of the people of the pueblo? ¿Se dice pueblo?
Yeah, of the popular dances,
Yes.
yeah.
So it's important to say that all these questions are on the piece because we are not understanding um, for sure that what is the folklore in Spain with all the meanings of this question. So I think we are making the piece to understand how the academic part of our lives that are so important to us because we are dancing with that language and with that conocimiento that
With the knowledge,
yes with that knowledge. So what can we do with that to acercar
approach,
to approach this
questions, yeah.
yes this question to a present or to a contemporary thought. So yes, I think there is a complex context in Spain with that, and I think in the piece we try to understand that context a little bit more and how we do that with an humble try to approach all this scene to our time, to our feelings like women that know all this language of dancing, but understand this language is a small part of all the context. And we want to approach ourselves to that context, but knowing that we are a little bit small in all that context.
Yeah, but you're also women, and I think with the piece, for me, you really show the power of woman. You know, so was it also your intention somehow, like to present this female power in the piece? Because
Yeah,
in folklore, female, you know, it's really always present like very much in Spain, as you said, through the flamenco and everything. Was it also your intention to show this energy and power of female?
yeah, and it is very important to say that one of the um, one of the discoveries for us in all the investigation process was that the school teach us one way to dance folklore, but this is not true. They tell us that a dance from one part of Spain was all the time dancing in the time in that way. And we can know this because the dance is ephemeral
Yeah, the dance changes all the time.
and
Yeah,
we can know how the people dance from all the times. We can see a picture because it stays that for all the time, but we don't know how our ancestors dancing um over the moonlight or I don't know. So I think the piece uh, that that we can empower in the piece because we can imagine the past. So I think that's a very important thing to create the piece, the Para Cuatro Jinetes, because I think it was important for us to say, okay, that's the dance I know, but I can imagine the dance in the past. And I can say that, well, my grandmothers dancing were dancing
Yes.
like that if I say that in this moment in the piece. And the folklore in Spain um, represent the woman sometimes in a very, ¿cómo digo esto? Que a veces se representa a la mujer de una manera antigua y de una manera eh,
Yeah, so folklore in Spain sometimes represents woman in a very old-fashioned way.
so for us it was important to change that. And but yeah, I think because of just that the way you say this is for this.
Yeah, super. And as the show is very complex, it has lots of elements you put together, like sound, movement, visual elements. But there is also a text, and there is also this story, which is really somehow connected, I think, to you. Yeah, about John Lennon, Yoko Ono, Kyoko, and Catalina, which is your grandmother, as I understood.
Yes.
Well. So please tell us something about the story, and also how the text in the piece you use came about. Why the text and why that text?
So for us in the game that I was telling you before, it was important to play in the piece with what is true and what is not true. What the history can reveal us, and how the oral tradition can change the information and can change the art and the way that we are using it. So for us, creating this history was part of all this meaning of the folklore and the art that we are all the time heredating. This is what heredating. So we think that for us the humor is a very important part in our creations, and and I don't know. When we were creating this, we don't know if we were mad, and we don't know if this was a very good idea or not. But with the premiere and the feedbacks, um, we understand that it's a very important part in the show, and it works. And um, yes, I think this part of text it's able to explain that part of what is true and what is not, and the very fine line of the del relato. ¿Cómo se dice el del relato? The
Yes, of the
Yes,
storyline.
of the storyline, and the similar with the storyline of our folklore. So and I don't know. I
Mhm.
think I don't know if I responded to you
Yeah,
with.
yeah, and just the text, which is there, the lines. It's you created, or you use some literature you took it from.
Um, the part of the history is true, and we use a documental of Mallorcan creator, video creator, and we use part of this research that it's true, and we change it a little bit. That obviously I Catalina spoiler doesn't exist. And she's not my grandmother, but we try to create a story that it can parecer, perdón,
it can looks like
like
it could looks like
real, but it is not. So we were making all the text with our co-director Celso Jimenez, that he's a dramaturg, a very famous here in Spain. So all together we're doing the text, and it was very fun to imagine that possible history and put it in words. So
Great. So, and as I said, the show is complex and it has very interesting also visual side, because you are creating very nice tension between contemporaneity, which is like exposed body, exposed female body, but then you cover your body with the layers of the clothes, which is really folkloric. So, and there are many props, and there is a set design. So maybe tell us something about how this visual part of the show was created.
okay, so it's important to say that for us, we understand that the show was a kind of ritual, because folklore talks about this concept all the time. So what a better place to make a ritual, own ritual, that a theater, that you have all these elements that helps to you to make a full experience. So yes, because of that, the lights, the clothes or the not clothes, or and the audio visuals and the text and the songs, all these are making our rituals. So I think it's because of that it's important, all these parts in and because these small parts are doing the big part altogether. So in the creation, in when we were creating this, we imagine all of that, but it's true that we call a team that is be able to create of this part. I think we have a very good light designer, Carlos Marqueri. He's the best, and he can imagine of the colors and all. Well, yes, the colors of the piece that are very important, and where and how they are operating all the time. Our customer designs that are all the time playing with the times of the folklore, traditional costumes, and how we can not wearing that traditional costumes. And the music plays a very important, ¿cómo se dice? I'm tired now with the English. Sorry.
You are doing great. Don't worry.
Oh,
Thank
perfecto.
you. And the music plays a very important play on the piece, because we are all the time using pieces of traditional music, but Los Voluble are making all the time a reversion of this, and I think that's you can feel that you are hearing a mix of a traditional music, but at the same time of music that it's from now too. Um, and the visuals that are working the Los Voluble too. So yes, I think all these pieces are making the full ritual.
Oh, great.
Yes.
So we are really looking forward to have this ritual on stage in Bratislava, and I are really looking forward to it. And I thank you very much. So I think you did very well. And
Thank you. I'm sorry for my English.
no.
I have to practice.
And thank you, Ivan, and see you in
You're welcome.
Bratislava.